Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 13th, 2010 meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority. May we have the roll call, please?
Authority members: Draymond.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Razian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Najarian.
Here. May we have your report?
The agenda for the April 13th, 2010 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, April 8th, 2010 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. The next item, please.
Next item is selection of a new chair and vice chair. This is the time provided for the selection of one of the Housing Authority members to be chair for the following year. Nominations for chair are open.
Mr.
Chair.
Clerk? Oh. Mr. Weaver?
I was going to nominate Frank Quintero.
Beat me to it.
Like housing.
Thank you.
Are there any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Okay. And we'll take a vote now. Housing Authority member Draymond.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Mincy.
Yes.
Najarian.
Yes.
Razian.
Yes.
Quintero.
Yes.
Weaver.
Aye.
I now declare Housing Authority member Quintero the duly elected chair of the Glendale Housing Authority for the City of Glendale. Now, the business before the Glendale Housing Authority is the selection of a new vice chair, and you may now entertain motions for nominations.
Can I make a nomination? Or?
Certainly.
Well, I'd like to nominate Laura Parazian. She's been a member for many years now and well-versed in the intricacies of affordable housing and other issues in the City of Glendale.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Housing Authority member Draymond.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Mincy.
Yes.
Najarian.
Yes.
Razian.
Yes.
Quintero.
Yes.
Weaver.
Aye.
And we will now declare Housing Authority member Parazian the duly elected vice chair of this body. And I will now turn over the rest of the meeting to our new chair, Chairman Quintero.
Okay. What's next, please?
Next is approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, roll call for the minutes, please.
Authority members Draymond.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yeah.
Mincy.
Yes.
Najarian.
Yes.
Razian.
Yes.
Weaver.
Aye.
Quintero.
Yes. Next, please.
Next is oral communication. Our cards were submitted.
All right, we'll dispense with oral communications. Next.
On the business agenda before you at 6A is Director of Community Redevelopment and Housing regarding change order for Kane, Balmer, and Berkman in connection with professional services necessary for development of affordable housing project through June 30th, 2010. At 6A1 is a motion approving change order in the amount of $40,000 for a total contract amount of $130,000.
Okay, Mr. Starburn.
And I'll go to Phil Lanzafame, Director for the staff report. Phil?
Mr. Chairman, members of the authority, no contract can exceed $50,000 without your express authority to do that. This contract was let last year as part of the budget at $90,000. We found a need for an additional $40,000. As you look on the exhibit, we are engaged in the last year in developing some 332 affordable housing units. Kane Balmer Berkman has represented us on all of those. In particular, we foresee some work on Central City Lights and the Doran Gardens project, among others. We're recommending the approval of the change order.
Are there any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Ms. Friedman?
Is this something that we're sure our staff internally, our legal staff, can't do?
I don't have any legal staff here, but there is a specialty in this field, and Kane Balmer Berkman has filled that for some years. They do work in conjunction with our city attorney's office, specifically Michael Garcia.
Let me add, if I can, because the same thought came to my mind in the way that in redevelopment, Jillian Van Meiden really has developed to take over the lion's share so that we less frequently utilize special counsel. I think this is something we can talk about in the same way, whether it's a separate attorney or maybe continuing to expand Jillian's role to have her become more involved in some of these housing projects. They are a little different in terms of the documentation, the financing structure, so it is a specialty all to itself. I think it's something we should give more attention to in the upcoming year and try to do what we did in redevelopment, which is find ways to train our in-house folks to do more of this. And I think Jillian comes to mind as somebody who can do that. There's certainly other members of the staff who can, but for the time being, we need the specialization. But it's something we can be moving towards.
Okay.
Any other comments? Okay, do I have a motion to
Move 6A1.
6A1?
Second.
Roll call.
Authority members Draymond,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Mincy,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Parazian,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
and Chair Quintero.
Yes. Next, please.
Next is authority member or staff comments.
Any authority member, staff comments? Mr. Najarian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to place on the agenda, and I'm not sure which agency it goes on, but the reappointment of Mr. Mincy to another term on the authority. I thought that went to city council. Did I hear
I believe
goes
it.
to
I'm
council?
not sure why we don't have a city attorney here. I believe it goes on the city council agenda. I think the city council appoints, although the committee has been the mayor and the chair of the housing
You're the
authority.
city.
I think it's a
comes-
city council
Comes to us to
appointment.
ratify.
Yes.
Well, to be,
I don't know.
It should come to council.
Mr. Quintero,
Yes, Mr.
I asked this question some weeks ago and asked if this was the correct forum for that, and because I was not clear either,
Right.
and I was told that we would be informed of that and that it was more than likely the council was the correct
I believe
forum.
it is. The city council makes the appointments to the housing authority, so I believe it is. We'll clarify that and let you know. In the meantime, the request is to have it on a future agenda of whichever body it would be appropriate for.
I believe it's council as well, but we'll confer with the city attorney, who was the person who was looking into that, and put it on the appropriate agenda.
Thank you. And one other thing, Mr. Mayor, we have Mr. Okay, you can excuse the confusion. Mr. Chair, we do have some events taking place tomorrow, and I'll defer to you to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, we have a combination event, which is a groundbreaking for the Vassar City Lights project, coupled with a dedication, a ribbon cutting for it's called Glendale City Lights. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. I get the city lights. There's a city lights theme by the ADI development team. So it will be a very, I think it will be a milestone for this authority. It shows that we are continuing our commitment to affordable housing. We're cranking them out just as fast as we can, as fast as our finances will permit, and there will be at least several hundred new residents who will be getting a nice, clean, affordable unit, and then perhaps a year down the road we'll be dedicating the Vassar City Lights project, and it all came through this authority. Probably started at least 2-3 years ago, the entire process. So I'd like to thank staff for their continued hard work, and it is hard work at times on both sides, both with the developer, and I know the authority and / council likes to throw in their opinions and what they'd like to see done. But the bottom line is that we're moving forward, and I think we all have something to be proud of.
I agree. I actually am so pleased the way Algemax, which was an old coffee shop, how that facade was integrated into the project. As you drive up and down San Fernando Road, it really looks good. You've got the Sealy building next to it that's in the process of being rehabbed. So anyway, that little corner of town looks exceedingly nice. Across what's a huge intersection is the park, the dual-use mini park, and then, of course, the school. So anyway, I think the city and the staff's done a great job of putting that area back together. And it is one of the gateways to the city for people coming in from Hollywood and Feliz and other locations. So, any other comments, staff or Mr. Starburn?
To the earlier question, appointments to the Housing Authority are by the legislative body, which is the City Council. So it'll be on the City Council agenda.
Okay. We'll have that tonight. Ms. Farazian.
I wanted to ask the people who's sitting home, since I'm a poll watcher today and today is election day, would you please go up and go to vote, because we have little turnout, voter turnout. It's just 5% at the polls that I'm working at. Please go and vote.
Here's mine.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Farazian. Okay, next, please.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
We are adjourned.